Hello, it's Kiona from Iba Art, and I have another book to show you. I just finished this one earlier this morning, and it is again a 1-inch book about with 3 signatures. This is the actual hardbook cover, and as you can see, I've covered the back part and the stitching with some blue fabric, a strip of lace, and then here I have the whole thing tied with some tea-dyed lace that I just had around the house. So I have it glued both on the back, here on the spine, and on the back of my book here. So you won't lose it, and you can just tie it whenever you want. I've got paper on the front here with some chalk paint, and this is written humility in chalk. It was something I wanted to be remembering. The same thing on the side. So this is just a piece of paper, tea-dyed paper with some chalk paint and the letter I on there for Iba. Here I have some charms, and these are from my grandma's button collection. My grandma had passed away and gave me all these buttons. So you can see this beautiful one with some roses and pretty blue flowers, and then these just match the color scheme. This one's a little bit more detailed. Anyway, but these are all tied on with some ribbon or some cord, and then they're sewn into both this lace and to the backing here. So this is really solid. This isn't going anywhere. Anyway, so there's the outside, and we'll get into the middle. I covered the insides of my book with some scrap paper, wood themed from Hobby Lobby, both front and back. And then as you can see, I put some washi tape in here just to kind of tighten up the theme. It is a 3 signature book, and I actually sewed these into a strip of paper, which you can see in between, as well as into the back of the book. So as you open each signature, you won't just see ripped cardboard or anything on the back. You'll see some pretty words. Anyway, we'll get started. This is from a little mini herb book, and I sewed these into the sides, so you have like an extra page for each of these pages. I have a sewed in side pocket, and this page is actually from the book that was originally in here. So I cut out these pages, and then I reused them, tea-dyed them all, and then just sewed them in. These are tags from my wedding, just leftovers, and I am tucking those in there. Some scrapbook paper, again from Hobby Lobby. This is Hello Weekend, and it opens up, and these are just some adorable stamps, again from Hobby Lobby. They're like, it's a huge ad for Hobby Lobby, basically. Again, another corner pocket sewn in, some more stamps, another tuck spot, and I love how on the back, it adds more dimension on the back. So you both add some creativity on the front and the back of each page that you sew. This is the back of like a button holder, so you know how you have the piece of cardboard and each button sewn in. These are the sewn in spots, and these are again from my grandma's collection. So they're already antiqued, but I tea-dyed them again and sewed them in here. So they're extra, actually old, not fake old. Here's another sheet from the original page of this book, and I just have them folded over, some more stamping. Here's another page I tea-dyed, and this is from 29th Street Market. That's who sells this pretty pattern. But it already looks old, so I just left it open. More stamping, another button holder, and it's both glued and taped down with some washi tape. And some stamping. Again here, and I left the little wires in there because I thought it looked pretty. Added some music here for some creativity. This says, "You've got this," with little arrows. Again, more of that wood pattern and stamping. This is part of that atlas. I love maps. As you can see, there's quite a bit of variation on my tea-dyed paper, or coffee-dyed paper actually. It was all the same color, you can see here, but I wanted some dimension, so I would drip a little bit here, and then I'd hold up my sheet of paper and let it drip down the page and dry that way. So you'll see a lot of those changes. More washi tape and stamping. This is the center of my signature here, some more music. And as you can see, I dripped little bits of coffee just to add some more creativity in there. more stamping, washi tape, and the atlas. This one was super creative and turned out really neat. This looks complete as itself, but it also folds out. So I love those interactive little sheets. More white, up in and out, stamping. Here's the other side of that paper. As you can see, it's really rugged and it's kind of rough. And I like it that way. It's obviously aged, and then I just aged it extra. So more dripping and washi tape. This was the other side of the sheet of paper. I folded it over and I actually just taped it in there, and I think I'm gonna either use it as a tuck spot or I might unfold it all the way and then make it look kind of like an envelope. I think it looks pretty darn cute either way, but washi tape always reattaches, so I can leave it shut or open and close it. More stamping again. This was a cutout from a book, a novel, and this is the end of the first signature. So here I've got a little mini book. It's got a tiny little pocket on the front, which I have sewn on. You can see the stitching here and here. This was again a page from the book, and I just folded over the edges to make a really cute little pocket here. And this is the beginning of a mini book within a book, which I thought would be cool for when you have a lot to say in your journaling. Anyway, this is 3-4 pages to write on. It says Hello Weekend down the side, and that's the beginning of the next part. Here's a little milk tag that is also from Hobby Lobby, and these are just antique ones. I really liked the trees because I've got tree stamped through here. So Pine Grove Dairy fit pretty well. There's my pine trees. You've got this. This was a advertisement for Loretta's Fine Art, and she does all these in larger frames, obviously, but I loved this and all the pretty colors, so I saved it and glued it in here, and it's a pretty hefty piece. So, but just beautiful. It fit my color theme. More pages to journal. More stamping. Another sheet of paper. Just a pretty notepad paper, and I sewed that in. You can see the zigzag paper. More pretty patterns washi taped in there. Music. You can see this is a very like textured feel of coffee dyeing. More stamping, the atlas, back through. This is the center of my second signature, and I just sewed on some buttons on the back, and it actually doesn't add that much dimension. It's just really pretty, I thought. And the magic is the page of this, or the title of this center. More atlas, more of the back of a button holder. And here's my envelope. One envelope in this whole thing. I'm certain there will be more coming, but there's one of those. This again is coffee dyed and folded together and then just glued on the back with some stamping. So, more music. And this is another sewn in pocket on the corner, and another tag left over from my wedding. You can see this texture here, folded in pieces. You can fold this out. I planted these Perthrum daisies and just sewed it in, as you can see on the bottom, as another tuck spot. So you can see in here. And I love the look of extra strings just hanging out, make it extra chunky and junky. So it's hanging out. You can see the seams here, the seams from pages sewn on this side. So this was just some pretty paper I was given, and I coffee dyed it, obviously, and stuck it in here. More scrapbook paper, more from the herb garden, and it's sewed in here. So none of these add really dimension or extra depth to sewing it into the actual book because it's sewed onto the pages, which is really handy. Pages, more stamping. These stamps are all from Hobby Lobby. It says relax and plan on being my favorite always. Acorns and pine trees. This is a map I had of Kalispell, and it just matched my color scheme, and the texture was really pretty, so I saved this. And this mouse is just adorable, so he had to be in my book. This one's again sewn in. More stamping. Stamping, music. This is just a pretty strip of scrap paper I had left over from this same piece, but I coffee dyed it and just stuck it in there for some dimension. Another sheet of paper. You can see little light blue acorns stamped down the side. Another folded spot, another pocket. This is actually my favorite one because it's lighter on the outside and darker on the inside, and so it just adds so much more thought to it. Here's another tag. Stuck in there and some stamping. Again, that extra coffee dyeing and folding. And again here, this is the center of my third signature. More the atlas, more dimension here. This is just a sheet of the book, and it had a pretty font. I'm a goner for pretty fonts, so I just added that in there, sewed it in. Another piece of paper there, the other half. Music in a pretty corner. This is a light blue camera here and here, and the other side of my map. And that concludes my book. It says down here that it's one of a kind, art crafted by Iba Art. So that will be my signature. Anyway, that brings us to the end. I hope it gave you some ideas to do some more journaling of your own. Have lots of fun, and I'll see you next time.